We're good.
Thank you. It's 9 a.m. on September 12, 2025. So using a gavel, I hereby call to order this meeting of the Oregon Government Ethics Commission. Our Executive Director, Susan Myers, is in the Salem office with staff from the Investigative, Training, and Administrative section of the Commission. Our counsel from the Oregon Department of Justice, Sean Brady, also is in the Salem office. For the record, my name is Dave Fiscum, and I currently serve as chair of the commission, and I'm in the Salem office. And as for other commissioners, the following is the case. Vice Chair Shanoa Payne is out of town today and so is excused. Commissioner Jonathan Thompson is in the Salem office and will function today as acting vice chair. Commissioner Dan Mason is online, and at this moment, just let me say that this appears to be Commissioner Mason's last meeting on the commission. So it marks the end of his long and effective tenure, about 8 years, as one of only 2 commissioners to have served 2 successive terms. More about this later in our agenda, but for now, from me, Commissioner Mason, congratulations for your excellent service. Commissioner Rick Burt is online. Commissioner Elisa McCauley is online. Commissioner Ivan Resendez Gutierrez is online. Commissioner Ann Mettler is excused today, and Commissioner Peter Jancy is online. So this attendance means we have a quorum, so we will proceed today as we usually do, first with the couple selected items on our public session agenda. Then we'll move into the executive session. And if I could ask one more quick thing of commissioners online, would you mind just for a moment turning on your camera so your identity can be confirmed by our staff? And if you do that, thank you. And you don't have to remain with us in that way unless you want to. As chair, my comments this morning are going to be relatively brief, but first I would say that recent developments in the serial public meeting issue create what I consider to be public policy opportunities for us. This includes issues pertaining to the city of Portland and the city of Salem, which add to the prospect that this issue will be on the legislative calendar in 2026, 2027, or both. So what are the opportunities? First, I believe Oregon's long-standing public meetings law has been designed to promote transparency in government, and overall it has worked well. Many advocates have said recently that they don't want the issues we're dealing with to be shoved into the background of this basic intent of the law, and I don't want that either, and I believe neither should we. That's a good position for us to be in, I think, to support the public knowing about what government does and expecting government action to be taken in public, even as we help to rewrite portions of the public meeting law and the rules that follow. The second opportunity is that revolves around the difficulty of defining what, quote, serial public meetings means when the law may not be absolutely clear on its face, and that gives us a chance to add clarity to the law in the process yet to go forward, and our executive may mention more about this. Also quickly know this, because my current and last term on the commission concludes at the end of the year, the fixes here, whatever they may turn out to be, will occur on your watch, not mine. But let me just say that I'll pay attention with interest from the sidelines. Of course, before any legislative consideration, we're preparing refinements in our administrative rules, a process which is underway. If any of you have suggestions for this rewrite, now is the time to forward them to Director Myers or to Investigator Fenstermaker or to both. I have forwarded a couple of comments, so I hope you'll decide whether you too have suggestions. That said, our agenda for this public meeting also allows for general comments from commissioners and subjects not on the formal agenda. So, any takers this morning beyond what I've said? If so, now's the time. Hearing and seeing none, let's move to the third item on our public session agenda, which is to review and approve minutes of the August 8th, 2025 meeting. Any comments on those minutes? Has they been distributed to you online and otherwise? Hearing and seeing none, I'll take a motion to adopt them as drafted. Vice Chair.
Mr. Chair, I move that the minutes of the August 8th meeting be adopted as presented.
Thank you. You've heard the motion, colleagues. The administrator will call the roll, please, on the minutes.
Commissioner Mason.
Aye.
Commissioner McCully.
Aye.
Commissioner Burke.
Aye.
Commissioner Resendez Gutierrez.
Aye.
Commissioner Jancy.
Aye.
Chair Fiskham.
Aye.
Oh, Commissioner Thompson, sorry.
I wasn't here. Can I just abstain? Yeah. I'll just abstain since I wasn't here.
Okay. Motion
Thank you,
passed
colleagues.
6-0 with 1 abstention.
Thank you. So with that, we'll move into executive session, but a couple of questions first. First, does anyone need to declare a potential or actual conflict of interest pertaining to a matter on the exec session agenda today? And if so, now is the time to make such a declaration in our public session. I have not heard of anything pending, so I'm asking that question to make sure we haven't missed anything. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move forward. Second point, our staff is maintaining a list of the media who have told us they intend to attend the executive session under provisions of state law in Oregon. Are there any questions about that list before we move forward? Hearing and seeing none. Also, if questions come up along the way, please raise them at the proper time. So before the on-site and virtual doors are closed, I'll read for the record the specific statutory authority that enables us to proceed in this way. So here it is, as drafted by our staff and council. The Oregon Government Ethics Commission will now meet in executive session to consider preliminary reviews and to consider whether to open cases on the commission's own motion regarding potential ethics violations. Representatives of the news media and designated staff shall be allowed to attend the executive sessions. When we enter executive session, all other members of the audience will be asked to leave the room. Everyone currently joining the meeting online and over the phone, other than representatives of the news media, will be removed from the meeting. If your case is being heard in executive session, you will need to rejoin the meeting where you will be held in the virtual waiting room until the commission is ready to hear your case. Our staff will text you on the number you provided them to let you know when we are about to hear your case. The first executive session is being held under ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub F and ORS 244.260 sub 4 and ORS 192.685 sub 1 to conduct preliminary reviews of ethics and public meetings law complaints. Representatives of the news media are specifically directed that after the commission has made its final determinations and adjourned to the executive session, they may report the preliminary review cases, items 1 through 33 on the executive session agenda, including the commission's deliberations and its final determinations. ORS 244.260 sub 4 sub D sub C authorizes the commission to deliberate and make its final determinations on preliminary reviews in executive session. Following the conclusion of the meeting, the commission will publicly disclose and post the audio and video recordings of the preliminary review executive session. The second executive session, items 34 and 35 on the executive session agenda, is being held under ORS 192.660 sub 2 sub F and ORS 244.260 sub 2 sub D to consider whether to open cases on the commission's own motion regarding potential ethics law violations. Representatives of the news media are specifically reported that they may not report on or otherwise disclose any of the deliberations or anything said during the own motion proceedings, except to state the general subject of the executive sessions as previously announced. Own motion proceedings are confidential under ORS 244.260 sub 2 and remain so even after the executive session is adjourned. Once both executive sessions are concluded, we will return to open session and welcome the audience back into the room. That's it, colleagues. Any questions on the authority that allows us to proceed in this way? And for the moment, hearing and seeing none, the meeting room doors will be closed in Salem and online and operated by staff in accord with our authority. So only those individuals involved in a specific case will be in the room online for that case, and no others will be allowed in. We'll pause for a moment while this occurs. With our staff's help, we'll try to move with appropriate dispatch today without getting ahead of the technology, which is one of my faults.
Chair, Commissioner Resendez Gutierrez has his hand up.
Oh, Commissioner,
Yes.
pardon me for not recognizing your hand. Please.
Yeah, I
please.
just want to make sure that I always forget when I'm supposed to declare a potential conflict. Well, I saw Susan. Susan, I saw it.
Sorry.
It's not that.
Commissioner, the reality is not now. Council executive, should we?
Exit back
We have to-
out. Would have to exit back out and make the declaration in public and then come back.
And then come back in, and let me just ask a quick question. If we do that, do we don't need to read the authority again, do we
No,
necessarily?
no,
Just cite it as having been read and it's operative.
Correct.
yeah.
Is that the
but we
best
should Make
bet?
sure people aren't kicked out.
We've already started removing people from
Right,
the meeting,
so we will have to let them all back into the meeting.
which,
What would you prefer to do?
I mean, then we're gonna need like 10 minutes to call or text everyone to let them know that we're going back into public. And that's fine. I just, reality,
So we
letting
could,
you know.
is it possible, this is a friendly question, is it possible to hear the commissioner's declaration in the public session later scheduled? Or does
It
it need to occur now?
Right, so if the recusal is for a matter in the executive session.
Needs to occur now.
Correct.
Beforehand.
We have to go back into open
I
session.
knew that was coming, council. Thank you very much.
You were looking for.
Okay, colleagues, sorry for the little mini recess online and on the record. So at the moment, I will adjourn the just scheduled executive session for a few moments. We'll move back into public session.
Not adjourn, I think you want to reset.
I meant to say if I didn't say that
I'm
one.
going to mute the room while we try to coordinate getting folks.
We will recess the executive session just scheduled. We will now reconvene the public session. And we'll wait till all our technology ducks are in a row before we move forward. So we'll pause for a few moments, colleagues. Thank you for your patience. Okay, colleagues, thank you for the mini recess. We're now back on the record in public session for our meeting on September 12th, 2025. The purpose for going back into public session was to hear a conflict of interest declaration from Commissioner Yvonne Resendez Gutierrez. Commissioner, this is your time. Please make your comment.
Thank you, Chair. I apologize for the confusion. So I would like to declare a potential conflict of interest due to the fact that my firm represents the entities involved in items number 18 and 27 of the executive session agenda.
Okay, conflict declaration so noted. Anything else, Director, on that score?
So if it is an actual conflict of interest or a true conflict of interest, he needs to declare the nature of it. Now he has declared that his firm represents the bodies involved in these two cases. So the nature of the conflict declaration would be that the firm could, his employer could obtain a financial benefit by virtue of its representation of those bodies.
Commissioner, is that an adequate explanation from your vantage point?
Yeah, there's a potential that we would of that. That's right.
Thank you. That adequate? Okay, anything else for this public session? Small, short public session? Okay, hearing and seeing no additional hands raised or comments to be made, I will close the public meeting for the moment. And we will reconvene in a moment in executive session. Recess the the executive session, which was recessed. Is that it? Right?
Yeah.
Council, thank you very much. So we'll now reconvene the executive session that was recessed for a few moments. Couple comments for the record. The statutory authority for our process moving forward now in executive session, I read previously word for word, and that statutory authority still exists for the remainder of this executive session that we'll begin to move into directly. So the doors have been closed online and in person on site. So we're now in the executive session back on, and we'll move through the calendar as soon as the staff says we're ready to move through the calendar and executive session, starting with item number 1.